The very first reply to this was, yeah, that's why the program hasn't beaten a top 25 team since he's been here. Also, that's why Nebraskans can't renovate Memorial Stadium because Matt Rhule's institutional and managerial things are so great. Sam, at this point, is a propaganda mouthpiece. Like, was that your takeaway?
Not even a little bit. First of all, that's not who Sam is. And that's not who Sam's ever been. Like, full stop. I just
Like, was that your initial
No.
takeaway?
No. My initial takeaway from what Sam talked about was
Shane, get ready to get that travel clip played. And I know it's 2 minutes.
I've always had this theory that some jobs, I call them running for governor jobs. They're basically as much
What's
about.
Anna be happy? Should I get rid of this cup now?
No, I love it. Keep it.
I have to finish this.
Oh, okay. I've always felt there's certain jobs where you could just be a ball coach, and there's certain jobs where you basically have to be running for governor the whole time. Whether it's fundraising, whether it's PR, whether it's shaking hands and kissing babies, like whether it's doing press conferences in a way that you actually give people information rather than just being like, the Bill Belichick, oh, we're on to Carolina or whatever. Like there's certain jobs, I've always believed this, that you have to basically be running for office the entire time. Mm-hmm. That number of jobs has exploded with NIL and the transfer portal. Now, there's still some, genuinely believe, there's still some where you can just go coach ball because either there's enough money there that it doesn't matter as much, or they're in areas where college football isn't life, right? But like Nebraska has always been a running for governor job. Texas that's why Mac Brown was so good at Texas. Mac Brown was always running for governor. Like, that was his biggest strength. Yeah, he could coach some ball. That's fine. We saw that at North Carolina the first time around, and frankly, the second time around, at least in the first part of it. But Mac Brown was a running for governor head coach. That's why, even though I think Charlie Strong is a good football coach, was never going to work at Texas. Mm-hmm. That was not his skill set at all. Steve Sarkisian, closer.
Wow, weird pull, but I like it.
Like, those were diametrically opposite people, personality types, right? Okay. Same thing with, like, there's certain people, and I know we wouldn't put Saban in this category off first blush. He was actually really good at the running for governor stuff. He wasn't overly profusive with the media, but the behind the scenes stuff, he was really good with the money people and the relationship building and stuff like that. There's certain jobs where you have to be like that, and that number, like I said, has gotten way, way bigger now that, like Sam said, where he's right, more and more your success is determined by how you get along with the handful of richest boosters that care about your program. Because I genuinely believe, and we'll find this out in a few years, I genuinely believe there's still money at Oklahoma State. They just didn't want to give it to Mike Gundy anymore. I believe that to be 100% accurate. That's why I still think Oklahoma State's a pretty good job. Because if you can get those people on your side, there's probably money to be had there, and you can compete in the Big 12. That's why I like it over Arkansas, because even though there's money to be had there, Big 12 is a more clear path to the top than the SEC currently.
So let me ask you something, because I want to stay with this for a second. And I'm just picking at this because I think it's interesting how we're connecting him to the stadium.
Yeah,
renovation.
This is the first time I've ever heard anyone connect him to the stadium renovations, which is wild to me. But go ahead.
It's a reach at best. But sometimes you have to decide, hey, with what's happening with the House Rules Committee, and are we winning enough to justify how we want to – and I keep in mind, this is on the heels of him talking about at Big Ten Media Days how he appreciates Troy Dannon and being set up for the long haul, and how this is a really, really good job now, but it will be a great job in 3 years. Mm-hmm. Like, there's lots of things that he has demonstrated that he's trying to play the long game from a fiscal position standpoint. But where he is not, has he said anything about rosters, like $40 million rosters, and what left tackles cost and what quarterbacks cost? So he's put numbers out there too to let folks know, hey, he rocks the 1890 gear. Yeah. He's always talking about,
you want better players, write the check.
Right, always, right?
Yeah.
So there's also that aspect. Then there's things that they're willing to do from a travel standpoint. So if Shane, this is easy for you. Just give me 2 minutes, if you will, and play this clip.
I am so high maintenance when we travel. I remember Sean Patton and I on a bus in Yukon, because Connecticut would not let, we took a bus because we wanted another helmet. So I traded off with our AD. I said, okay, I'll bus instead of fly there or take the train there. But can I have that money then to get a helmet for our guys? Because we weren't Nebraska. We were a place that needed to try to do all that cool stuff. And it was supposed to be a 3-hour bus ride. We were on the bus for 6.5 hours. I mean, I literally was losing it. Me and Sean were screaming at each other. He's like, what am I going to do? Move the traffic? So I just like to get there on time. That being said, we also won that game, because the guys were ready to play. And so, I mean, the way we travel here, what's allowed, what we're allowed to do, like, just in terms of the resources we have available to us is elite. I mean, what Kristen does, like, I don't have to even think about the meals. Like, we actually take our own chefs from the training table, and they show up there and like they make our omelets for us. They make our, what I mean? Like, there's nothing showing up and like, oh, I don't eat this, I don't eat that. Like, some of our guys, we have a couple guys with really restrictive gluten allergies and all that. Like, she goes a day ahead. She makes sure everything's perfect. So I do feel like the food is important, right? Because I mean, if you get there and all of a sudden you eat something you don't like, and so, but Kristen does such an amazing job with that. We always go see a movie the night before the game, and so we've seen some horrific movies. So I've just given up on that. But no, I think it's that. Like, and I just don't love the long bus ride on the day of the game. But I've also learned that none of that really matters. You know what I mean? Like, you like it to be seamless and clean, but you're going to kick the ball off. It's about who blocks and tackles. So just trying to keep it that. And I think the last thing is just the players, right? The players, they can't. We had to change our hotel in Minnesota because they moved the game from Saturday to Friday. I'm not complaining, but it's a subtle little complaint that they had to change the hotel. And like now it's attached to a mall. Like, you have to ask the players then, hey, be focused. Like, don't go there and, go walk around the mall for 3 hours and have your legs be tired. So I think having a really good group, like our strength coach, Corey, I think they do a good job of just making sure there's no distractions. If I had to say one thing, it's probably no distractions. But I love going on the road. I think I said that to you guys before, though. I love the feeling of just being in the hotel with the guys for, 24 hours, kind of like sequestered in. Now, we travel so well that like it feels like you're at the Cornhusker Marriott when you're away because there's so many Husker fans there, which is really cool.
All right. So that didn't even include the clip about the bio strips that they use or what they take with them to travel. So,
well, they talked about the things for the blood flow things.
Yeah, the strips.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot what they're called.
So,
yeah.
All right. So we are quick to talk about, because I said this is on the, it's not the precipice. This is on the cusp of, and I cut myself out because I didn't want to hear my own voice. I just wanted to hear Sam's thoughts. I said, Nebraskans should want a coach like Coach Rhule because he has 3 qualities. Number 1, he loves the state. Number 2, he's competitive. Number 2, he's really, really smart, right? Like, he wants the best for this place. But I've also said 1,000 times, fiscally speaking, what's one word I've referred to him as when it comes to his spending habits?
I don't remember if
he would call it frugal.
Or frugal. Yeah.
He would call it frugal.
Call it
I
cheap.
said cheap.
Yeah.
I said cheap.
Yeah.
Right. He had the opportunity. And it sounds like, I shouldn't say this is blank. He had the opportunity to redo or restructure a year ago, but he didn't. He said, let's wait. Let's see where we're at. Let me prove my worth. I've been in this position before. You've held it over my head. We're not doing that. I am going to earn my keep. Right away, I was like, heart swell.
Yeah.
Heart swell. Right? Things I don't have to say, but things I think I clearly know. Right? So we fast forward to the comments about the manager, the stewardship, the direction of the program. They're going to bat for state. And I'm going to double down by saying he has to wait. You want him to wait to promote the program until he wins. You're mad about podcasts because you want him to wait to promote Nebraska until he wins. You're mad that he has responses in press conferences that say, we're not excited to get something back on tape because we feel bad. I'm not apologizing for Michigan. Or wait, you guys roll your eyes at me when I tell you the Big Ten Conference is this. Like, he hasn't lied to you yet. But yet we take everything he says, we put it through the grinder, and we want like this. We want a desired outcome when mainly just be focused on authenticity. Like, how consistent is he with the message in terms of what he wants? So we hear Sam talk about Sam the propagandist, right? I don't know, like, maybe this dude is traumatized from George Orwell or the Animal Farm, but propaganda and like that is those. I just don't think Sam and propaganda.
No.
I just
There's
don't.
certain people I do, but he's not one of them.
So we talk about the stewardship and being right for Nebraska, and this was on the heels of Sam saying, if he gets this right, like look the heck out, which is what we've kind of said
the whole time,
all the time.
Yeah, because
but I've also
that,
said, and I've also said this, and I could be wrong. I may very well end up being wrong, but I said, listen, if he wins, there's two things. Number one, he won't have to change how he does business because the standard has been the standard. He wants elite level things before he is at an elite level.
Well, what did he say again yesterday? Champions act like champions before they're champions. He said that a million times. A million times.
And we've said this for 2.5 years. This isn't me touting Coach Rhule because I believe in Coach Rhule. This is me giving you the facts on how I think he's leaving you bird crumbs in terms of who I think you're getting long term. I've talked about it in terms of his recruiting philosophy and who they target and what they're willing to do with NIL and how they don't, contrary to popular belief, when we want to bury a guy, give him all this money up front and say, oh, we're at the mercy of NIL. No, wrong guy. They don't do that. They don't do that. They haven't done that. They will not be held hostage by how much money somebody makes because they're not going to put themselves in a fiscally disadvantageous position to a 20 or 21-year-old. It's just,
and then we still get mad when they won't get into a bidding war because we thought we needed another guy.
I didn't even get to that.
I know.
Right. But I did give you a peel back behind the scenes because I'm sitting 4 feet from the conversation. And I also know how the other side feels because
you have a relationship there.
Those are my, right?
Yeah.
So when somebody says to me, what are we doing? This is out of what we feel is investment worthy of long-term expenses. I'm going to hate myself in the morning. I cannot function like this. Okay, say less.
Yeah.
I understand. We're good. We'll move on. We gave it a shot. No good. Everybody's cool.
Have you ever seen something?
Hang on.
Sorry, go ahead.
He's doing his thing. Nebraska's doing their thing, and they're still in good financial position. So we get to the stadium expansion and renovation. Hey, before we do that, let's see if we can't. We've tried to upgrade the food. We've tried to add liquor sales. Let us get a little in the coffin for liquor sales. We'll continue to work on the process. We'll build the revenue. We'll get a little kit. We'll put this money off here. We'll put this money off here. Then we'll come. In the meantime, let's try to upgrade our Wi-Fi experience. I don't know about the bandwidth and will we be able to stream more, but we will be able to at least break off a call so we can calm that down. We'll do a better job with our scoreboards in terms of getting scores and seeing what's happening real time. So these are all things that they don't like announce,
say out loud,
but subtly get better. Why they buy themselves time to put the goddamn stadium renovations together. But in the meantime, where are the resources going? They're going to the product that you're trying to see on the field, whether it's NIL, whether it is food, whether it is allergy intakes, whether it is strips, whether it is staying an extra night. Listen, truth be told, you want the dirty little secret? Troy Jansen stopped by the booth. He wanted to say hi. I love TD, right? Straight shooter, would tell me to go fly a kite if I needed to. Like, just a good dude. Great in the interview process. He's smart. Very malleable. Rolls with it. Doesn't complain. I told you, the number one reason I like those two together is they don't spend a lot of time bitching and moaning about what they don't have. They figure out how to fix it and work within the parameters of what they're dealing with, which is really all life is, right? Because you can only control your response. Too often we work backwards and we want the outcome before we want to worry about how we responded. We're always talking about what somebody else did to us. Well, they did this and you made me feel like this. Well, how'd you act? Right? But nobody wants that because they think that's called deflecting. But if each individual does that, if each individual says, what could I have done differently? You'd be amazed at how you could problem solve. But anyway, that's a whole different meltdown. Want to go back to travel and the day. 6 months ago, Nebraska thought they had this outlined. 11 o'clock kick, Maryland, short week. We saw the schedule. Minnesota's on a Friday. We are going to be out on the East Coast. Hey, BTN, can we get an early game? We'll go out a day early. We'll get acclimated. We'll set our deal. So if we know we're going to play early, and we're losing an hour, I don't want to fly out late that afternoon and be straggling because it doesn't fit the clock schedule of how we like to operate on a Friday. Hey, can we spend a few extra dollars, and I drop that in quotes,
few, yeah,
to go out early the night before, and we're leaving later in the day, Thursday. Not as early because he doesn't want to spend Thursday day there. He just get there, get your ass settled down, do the Thursday meetings like you normally do when you get there at night, wake up, do your walkthrough. And then all of a sudden, 3 weeks ago, it's these game times are announced. Michigan State picked this time for homecoming. BTN honors their charter members.
Yeah.
Right? We want the 11 o'clock game against UCLA, Nebraska. I'm sorry, we got to bump you to 2:30. Nebraska's like, shoot, man, we're pot committed. We're already going down early. You told us 6 months ago it was going to go down like this. Hey, I'm sorry. I wanted to make it a big deal. I did. I'm just being super transparent. So when I'm talking to the athletic director in the booth, it's just it's the four of us. It's me, Benny Mack, Casey and Ben are actually working.
Okay.
I'm sitting there with my thumb in my butt, waiting for the broadcast to start. Dannon comes and checks on us. Hey, how you guys doing? I stand up. He and I are talking. Benny Mack and Casey are doing what they are paid to do. They actually work. I'm just fraternizing, right? Robbing taxpayers of their dollars. No, I'm playing. So we're talking. I said, man, that's got to be tough. You got to eat the expenses for travel and the hotel stay. And he said, we're going to be okay there. I'm not so bent out of shape because I think our plan was good. We just didn't get the outcome we wanted. I think our plan was good. I just don't think we got the outcome we wanted. What am I supposed – do you want me to be mad?
No.
Do you want me to say they're not doing their job? Do you want me to say that, oh, yeah, these guys are so fly by the seat of their pants that they are just spending money willy-nilly? No. It is well thought out, and it is consistent. This is independent of winning football games. But this is the leadership that you want. As a state that is known for hard work and integrity and food to table and get what you earn. We fought this whole NIL phenomenon of the perception of who we are versus a state versus who we want to be as a college football program since NIL has come into play.
Yeah.
The state says we don't give you anything. You work for everything. We are the heart and soul of the working community. We're not turning our hard-earned dollars over to kids for a game. We fought this whole, but you know what we want to do? We want to win. We want to win. So you don't think that those guys as a brain trust have balanced the dichotomy of being a good representative and ambassador for the state of Nebraska versus cranking out a pay-for-play high-road dollar? You know how much crap they have to put up with in-state recruiting and this kid over that kid and play this guy and, oh, you're wasting money here and the stadium expansion. People just yap and they don't know crap. And it's okay. I'm not telling you you shouldn't have opinions because the worst thing we want is goddamn apathy. We don't. I don't want you to be apathetic and couldn't care less about the results. But if you're going to have these conversations, it's okay if you say, hey, I don't have all the information, but this is what I think.
Or this is what it feels like.
I'm cool with that. But don't tell me you think that they're not for the university in the state of Nebraska. They haven't shown you anything that would be indicative of that.
No, they've shown you the exact opposite.
The exact opposite.
Consistent.
Hey, I'm not mad about the outcome. The
plan was good.
The plan was good.
You know, it's another good word for plan. Process.
Just like how they're trying to build the roster. just like how they're trying to put this team together. You don't want the quick fix. You want long-term sustainability. So you want it thought out. That's it.